Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the motor mounted to the motor mount. So the part that says ALZRC is going to go on the bottom, and you can see that there's actually grooves on here for countersunk screws. I don't have any right now, no big deal. But you'll put the motor on here. Your wires are going to go just slightly off to the side like that. Okay, we got them all in here, and now we're just going to torque them down. They're all Loctited. We got them torqued down. That motor's in there and not going anywhere. You want to tighten this thing down almost all the way, the nylock nut. Then loosen this, slide it on and tighten it down. But I had to basically tighten that nylock nut all the way on there. Okay, we got that in there, and let's try tightening it now. Let's try tightening it now and see how it does. There we go. Now we're actually able to secure that motor mount. Alright, what do we got here? We actually are opening up the frame. So basically it's going to go on here just like this. We're going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Okay. So we got number 1 and number 2 in there. Now we're going to install the pinion and the belt. So here's our pinion gear. And we are going to loosen this back up. Now these 2 sliders right here, those are for, so you use the ones that have the little aluminum washers. I'm going to stretch it a little bit so we can get to that hole. We're just going to put one in like that. And then we're going to put the next one in. Now we can see what our belt tension is. Okay, now we can see when we spin this head multiple times. You're going to spin it a whole bunch, and then you go ahead and take a look at your belt and where your spur gear is, and you can actually see, like here, I'll mess it up. I'll put the belt down too far, so that's down too far, and we'll spin it, and now the belt is back where I had set it, which is almost perfectly centered. Now if I'm going to have it off center at all, I'm going to have it off center towards the bottom, because if you have it off center towards the top, you can actually scrape on this and wear your belt. So that's where I like it. So here's the tray for the tail servo, and it goes behind these 2 tabs right here. It does not go in front of them. It goes right behind them like that. Last one here. Alright, so your tail servo is fully installed. So this horn will be for my tail servo. It takes a 2mm M3. That again we'll put Loctite on because it's going into a metal servo. Perfect. I'm going to put a ball on here, and like I said on the other, same with the cyclic servos, once I get the ball to where it's through the servo horn, I go ahead and put Loctite on it, and I just dip my hex driver in it and then just wipe the Loctite on the screw, and then grab one of these and then screw it back on. And now you have a nut on the other side. We're going to go ahead and grab that with some pliers. Give this thing a bit of a tightening right there. So now that's Loctited on there. It's not going anywhere. This is done. So the screw holes that you will use in the frame is that one and that one. As I'm going to go ahead and install my battery clip, because I've put these all together before and then forgot to install it. And that's always a pain in the ass. So we do need, as usual, okay, so there it is right there. Get some Loctite. And now you're good. You got your battery release. Let's go ahead and install our battery tray. Alright, so you can kind of start to see the wire management. I put one zip tie right here. So they all got locked down in the center with a zip tie so that they look real nice from the top. They don't run into any servo arms. You barely see them a little bit here, and then they'll come down the side. So on the inside of the tail boom, you will actually have this. So you take your tail boom and you line this up perfectly in here. Just like so. And so that's what it winds up looking like on the inside. The plastic nut, you actually smash that down into that piece that I just double-sided taped in there. And now you can see you have threads down in here. So what we do with that is this squared part right here, you match up with this squared part in the frame, like so. And then there's the hole right there. And we actually just take this plastic bolt and you just screw it on into here. And I loosened one of the screws of this tray that holds the tail rotor servo so that we can get the tail boom on there. There's always just a tiny little space in this corner right here. So we push this back up into the tail boom, put a screw in it right there. You have to really hold this tight to get that screw to line up. See, the wire's nice and loose right in here. It's not going to get caught or cut. And then I turn it sideways and slip it right through there. And then it goes up here with the rest of my wiring. So I went ahead and installed my body mount. And then you have the magnet piece that slips over it. You have to install this into the canopy. I'm just doing the one side until we get the other one going. Okay, we got all the screws out that they had pre-installed, and we're going to go ahead and fit this side over here. And again, we got to Loctite all these that we put in. So we're going to do the motor mounts, You have 3 up front, you have 1 here and 1 here, and then 2 here, and then we'll put on the body mount. Alright, so we got the bulk of it assembled. Let's go ahead and get the mount for the flybarless controller on here. Alright, let's put on the rear piece of landing gear. So it's got a couple little tabs, and to be honest, this the plastic that this rear landing gear is made out of is extremely nice. It's starting to take shape. That is looking pretty sick.